Hello guys, and welcome to episode 29 of my Total War Warhammer playthrough, playing as the Vampire Counts on very hard difficulty. And today we're starting off with a battle with Reinhardt. He has his Blood Knights ready and willing to take on Archaon the Ever-Chosen. It's a battle that I am going to be starting very shortly, but let's catch up with what's going on. We do have Helm Gorst here and Heinrich Kemmler heading eastward, although I have been thinking about my situation currently, and I am kind of thinking of changing tack slightly. So since Oswald is in Gizero, he's there to solve the public order, but I was looking in between recording about the scaling armies moving towards L'Anguille, because I clicked on them just after I finished recording the last episode, and I realised that they're actually in range to attack L'Anguille, and it's not actually that well defended against their armies. So for example, if they attacked us with Marauder Horsemen, Chaos Chariots, I think this army auto-resolves better than Hamlin's army, and also beats us on the field better, because Skeleton Warriors, although we have a lot of them, will still take a lot of damage from chariots, for example. So I was inclined to send Oswald in that direction. We're probably going to march him down there, and then I'm going to get Helm Gorst to come back to Gizero next turn and sort out the public order for us. Also, what we can do is bring up Zillig now, because I think we're pretty much okay at Leonis for now, and sort out the public order that way as well, as long as the deploy actually stacks, which I'm not entirely sure it does, but we'll have to wait and see. And we also have Mannfred here. He's chasing down Ram, the Warhead of Chaos, so that's something. But let's go ahead and start by getting Reinhardt into this battle with Archaon and his friends. He's got Azub Hor, he's got Valmir Painbringer, and he's also got Rulek at his back, and a couple of units of Chaos Chariots, Chaos Giants, Chaos Trolls. We have Blood Knights to deal with the large units, which is great, but I'm not entirely sure how well this is going to go, but we are definitely going to fight it anyway. Let's quick save it and fight it on the battle map. Okay, so here we are on the battle map. It's actually a pretty terrible one. You know, you'd think we'd be relieving a siege, but apparently they have the high ground, even though the town, as you can see in the background, is behind them. Seems a bit silly really, considering we came from the direction of the town to fight them. So yeah, I'm not actually going to bother moving my troops around at all. We're going to keep the 16 because that's more than enough. We'll start the battle. I'm going to wait for our reinforcements to come in. I'm just going to speed it up so that we get them onto the field. I don't think they're going to attack us because we don't have any ranged units, so that doesn't force them down from the hill at all, which is kind of annoying. So I guess what we're going to do to start off is zombie wall, and we will probably just march straight up towards them. That probably sounds like a bad idea because it's a hill, obviously, but it's a hill the whole way around. I mean, the only side that we're really not at a disadvantage is on this left side, but if we restrict ourselves to fighting on one side of this map, we don't get the flanking capabilities that I need to really utilize the Blood Knights, so that's an issue. Anyway, behind this line we're going to have our Graveguard, of course, and the Crypt Ghouls. We don't actually have that much quality infantry ourselves, but what we do have is plenty of Crypt Horrors, so they can back up our main infantry line, and they have armor piercing, which is great. As for our other units, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with these Blood Knights. Let's just have a look at their positioning. So they've got Chaos Chariots and the Chaos Giant on the left. They've got Trolls in the middle, and they've got Chaos Chariots on the right. What about the Chaos Knights? So I think anything with a horse is counted as large, so counts with the Chaos Knights as well. We're also going to want things to chase down these Marauder Horsemen so they can't become an issue. So I guess that's going to be the Bat's job. What I'm going to do is grab a couple of these Black Knights with a Blood Knight unit and put them on the right, because I think we probably only need one Blood Knight unit on the right to kill the chariots, and then we can keep 2 on the left to deal with the giant and all of the units on that side, and they can be backed up by the last unit of Black Knights coming from the reinforcements. Probably the best way to do things. We have our Vargeist here and Fellbats. Let's bring those forwards. We're going to make sure our Strigoi Ghoul King joins the fight. So when this whole battle begins, what I'm probably going to do is have the bats chase off the Marauder Horsemen. We'll have the Vargeist come in the back of the melee that starts between the zombies and the Chosen and the Chaos Warriors. And then we'll have the Blood Knights trying to help with the Chaos Giant and the Chariots. I think that's how we're going to play this out. So we just need to get all our units into position. Let's just speed things up. The chariots on the right side actually position forwards. That's interesting. Maybe if we go up onto the high ground behind them up here, we might be able to draw out a couple of units. I'm actually going to bring my Fellbats over just in case the Marauder Horsemen try and skirmish with me. That would be really, really irritating. All the fireballs being fired at my Fellbats, I believe. Hopefully that doesn't do too much damage. Just going to get as high up this hill as I can. I'm also going to do the same with the units on the other side. And we'll start to move our main battle line forward soon. What's going on with these Chaos Knights? Are they like chasing the bats? I'm not entirely sure. Either way, we can pause it and start to move up the zombies, I believe. We'll go probably all the way up in their face, really. And then I'll start moving up the other units behind them soon. Okay, so we just got to maneuver as best we can in order to make the most out of this battle, because it is going to be a close one, that's for sure. Okay, we start running up with the Crypt Horrors now. I'll make sure that the Crypt Ghouls come up here as well. Actually, let's just make sure that they go to the sides that they were assigned, and then the Graveguard can come up in the center as well. So our army is on the move. We'll make sure that our Strigoi Ghoul King is coming forwards. I might have to slow down anything that isn't zombies, just so that they don't overtake them. Right, so yeah, there's a unit of Marauder Horsemen there. Oh no, we have the spell coming down on top of our Fellbats. That's not very nice. I think what we do is slowly move towards them now. I really want to take out the Marauder Horsemen if I can. Alright, let's just charge in. I think we can go for it. Let's get the Blood Knights to attack the Chaos Trolls. Okay, so we've made that engagement happen. I just want to make sure that these Marauder Horsemen don't go anywhere that we can't follow. Okay, good stuff. Okay, let's just see what's happening here. We want to make sure we get into these halberds sooner than later. We're going to attack the Chaos Warhounds with the Black Knights. We can get those chariots out of the way. It's good. Okay, good stuff. We've managed to catch some Marauder Horsemen. That's a good start. We have Azapor and Valmir coming into these engagements. Let's make sure that we get a couple units of Crypt Horrors on each hero. That should kill them relatively quickly. Need to make sure that our units are starting to run now, as they will need to reinforce our lines as the Blood Knights engage. So just going to speed things up. Hopefully the Black Knights can deal with the Warhounds quite nicely. We're definitely going to kill off the chariots quickly. I'm tempted to disengage here because the giant has engaged us. Over on this side, I'm actually going to bring my Black Knights with Lances and Barding out wide, and I'm probably going to withdraw my Blood Knights as soon as I can over here. Alright, so we managed to get away just here, which is great. Let's just see what's going on. We've got a spell coming down onto the Crypt Horrors. Let's maybe get our Vargheists in this game. Where am I going to take them? I'm not entirely sure, but we're going to go for these Chaos Chariots now. We'll come over to these Chaos Warriors with halberds, I think. What are the bats doing? We want to make sure that they engage the Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. Okay, so one chariot unit's dead. Oh wow, look at this, perfect. Chaos Giant going to get engaged by 2 units of Blood Knights and charge down as well. We get the charge damage, brilliant. So they're going to take a lot of damage from this, but that's the fastest way to kill a Chaos Giant, I tell you that much. Let's help out here as well with the zombies. Get these Crypt Horrors to run over there. What's happening with our main line? Okay. So we still have the Lancers and Barding. Black Knights here having issues. How's the Giant doing? Half health. Okay, we're getting there slowly but surely. Yeah, we're going to take a lot of damage on our Blood Knights, but it's definitely worth it. Saves our infantry line. Actually, we'll probably get these Crypt Ghouls to attack the Chaos Warriors. We'll get the zombies to just ramble towards the Marauders. And we'll get the charge in here as soon as possible. We'll go into the back of the Chaos Warriors with halberds fighting the Blood Knights, I think, just to try and save them. How are my other units doing? Okay, the Vargheists are taking a lot of damage. Are all of my units engaged? I think they are. Okay, good. Chaos Giant's nearly dead. That's good. Need to get rid of it as soon as possible. And I probably need to do a double invocation here, actually, just to heal up those 2 units. Okay, good stuff. Okay, that's the Giant dead. The Chaos Hounds are running away. We are healing up these Blood Knights, which is another good thing too. And have we got rid of the Chaos Warriors yet? No, we haven't. Okay. So how are we going to do this? We'll probably charge into the Chosen with the Blood Knights, just because they aren't just so they aren't countered by the Chaos Warriors with halberds. We're going to make sure that our Strigoi Ghoul King gets involved as well. Actually, I'll probably take him into the Chaos Warriors with halberds, just because that melee engagement looks like it's going to need help. We'll use a double invocation down here just to heal things up. Make sure these Blood Knights go back to full health if they can. Right, and we definitely want to make sure we break these Chaos Warriors with halberds on the right. So we're going to get our Vargheist to suicide in there. And by suicide I actually mean it. Okay, the Lords are coming back. I don't know. I think we managed to maybe beat them back. And they decided to come back for more. So we're going to get a couple units of Crypt Horrors to try and do their job here. Okay, so that's 1 unit, 2 units down of the leaders. And yeah, well, that's good stuff. Can focus on Archaon now. Lost a unit on the left. We're losing our unit of skeletons over here, that's fine. Gonna break off the Blood Knights, I think. And what I'm gonna do is spread them out and actually attack into these Chaos Knights, because they do a lot better against Chaos Knights. We're actually going to do a single invocation onto those Blood Knights, just to try and get them some regeneration, which should help them in that fight. We've destroyed the Chosen. Let's get the Blood Knights out of there and let the rest of my infantry engage. We'll do a double invocation next time. Just wanted to make sure that that Blood Knight unit did get its healing and regeneration. So far, this has turned out very, very well. We have plenty of units engaging Archaon. I might actually get the Graveguard to go towards the Chaos Warriors with halberds, and then just let the Crypt Ghouls keep the engagement going there. I might get these guys to come to Archaon. Okay, so Marauder Horsemen going to be charging my Blood Knights, but we'll just kill them off quickly. What about the invocation? Double invocation on this right side, I think. Get the healing going. We'll get his potion going as well, and we'll give him the extra attack. Okay, so the Blood Knights can now come into the back of these Chaos Warriors and Halberds, and we might also charge into the back of the ones over here as well. These Chaos Warriors and Halberds holding so strong at the moment, we really need to get rid of them. Hopefully charges into the back of them will help us out. They aren't going to break easily just because they're Chaos. We do have the Graveguard with great weapons coming up here as well now, casually strolling towards their location. Okay, we've got the Chaos Knights behind our lines, that's not great. Go for another final double invocation on this right side, I feel. That will heal up Reinhardt, although he's already at max health, but it will also heal up our Blood Knights, and we want to make sure that we are doing as much damage here as possible. Let's bring back these Blood Knights, actually. Did we just succeed there? Really nice. Okay, good. I think we might have just won the battle. Yes, we have. Fabulous. Okay, that was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Well, actually saying that, probably not. Their army composition was almost a counter to ours. Yes, we had Blood Knights to deal with their chariots and giant and so on, but those Chaos Warriors with halberds are so good. So good. Especially when you don't have any ranged units to punish them. So we're going to run down as many as we can with our units. We did lose an entire unit of Blood Knights. As for Archeon over here, he's getting run down. Let's go for a tighter formation so that we get more damage onto him. And any units that can run quickly can chase down Chaos Warriors and so on, so we'll do that. Looks like a few of these guys might get away. That's unfortunate. What about Archeon? Yeah, looks like he's going to get away. We're just going to end it there. A Pyrrhic victory. But I think a pretty decent one, honestly. Blood Knights did most of the work. I'm not entirely sure how well the Graveguard with great weapons did, but we managed to keep the Giants kills there only down to like 54. I guess they were mostly Blood Knight kills, so pretty valuable kills anyway. So the Graveguard with great weapons at rank 7, they got 34 kills. Looks like actually just Crypt Horrors did the majority of the damage. Black Knights, they're getting 40 kills. They were probably the ones that dealt with the Chaos Warhounds. We are going to most likely take the replenishment, I feel. Although Return Captives gives us 1,800, that's definitely worth doing. And that's going to leave Archeon with 2 Wounded Agents, Chaos Chariot, and 3 Wounded Agents, and himself. I think possibly we have the army to chase that down. Let's go for the Hunger, since Reinhardt got a skill point from that. That allows him to replenish his own health points from his attack. And I think we'll sit in Waldenhof just to get the extra replenishment, and then we'll maybe chase down Archeon before he manages to replenish the health of his units. Now we can recruit into Reinhardt's army now, and we are definitely going to be getting some more Graveguard with great weapons, just because they are so good against armor. And since we did lose a Blood Knight unit, which costs us 500 upkeep per turn, we can now afford to get like 2 units of Graveguard for like the same as 1 Blood Knight, which is ridiculous, but there we go. Vlad is still under siege. Hopefully, you know, this turn scaling doesn't break off and attack L'Anguille, but we'll have to wait. And yeah, Eric can help Zillig sort out the public order in Castle Artois. As for our other agents, I think we're done, pretty much.
Sylvania's borders.
Hildegard could deploy, but we're not going to. Actually, we may as well, so we'll do that. But she's going to eventually get to Varenka Hills and help spread vampiric corruption. In the meantime, I think everything's done, so we'll move on to the next turn. And next turn, we will be able to attack the Warhide of Chaos, hopefully, if all works out. Okay, they actually went hidden, so maybe we won't. Oh. Oh no. Looks like what I said might happen did happen. And this is a bit of an issue. I'm not sure if we have the forces really to win this. You can see the auto-resolve is not in our favour. If we lose Hamlin. I guess the only way we can find out is by quick saving it and fighting it on the battle map. And here we are, in the battle. And, well, it looks like we have an advantage at the moment. But I don't think that will last very long. We have 3,541 zombies, skeletons, black knights and direwolves. It's a pretty crazy army that Hamlin's got, but I don't think it's really going to do too much damage unless I play this right. So, just sort of having a look around the map at the moment, just to see if there's anything I can really take advantage of. And honestly, there isn't really. I mean, there's a few things. Like, for example, I might be able to back up against, what is it over here? This tree, I guess. If we look on the map, you can see that there is like a sort of block here that can't be traversed. So maybe we could like back up against that and use that. But I think in general, we might just have to use the Rome Total War Spartan strategy, which is back ourselves into a corner. And this corner is actually really good. This corner is amazing, actually, because it's a forest. And there's a little... These trees are so good. Okay, yeah, we might do that. I'm going to do that, because the trees being there makes their missile forces a lot less effective. And Hamlin is, like, going to be able to heal up everything if they're all grouped together with invocations. So that seems like a really, really good idea. We can probably get a lot of benefit from that. So I'm just gonna get all my units to come over here, and we're just gonna run them back into the corner. Okay, so we're gonna keep 22. That's actually quite a nice amount. We're gonna start the deployment, start the battle. Just gonna pause it, and we'll start getting this ready. So we'll keep our direwolves at the back with the Black Knights, and then we'll move on from there. So let's start off by putting out our zombies. Our zombies can be the first line because they are the weakest, and they love to take missile damage for you. Just, you know, a trait that they have. They like to sponge damage. Very expendable units. Then behind those we'll have the Skeleton Warriors. They're probably the second most expendable unit we have. Going to keep them pretty thick formations, I think. And I might actually tuck these ones right up against the edge of the map, just to make sure we don't get any units creeping down the cracks in our formations, because the AI loves to squeeze themselves down the edge of a map. Okay, we are going to have some overlapping going on, so let's just line them up slightly behind. We do have the Skeleton Spearmen as well to use. Got a couple extra units here as well. Okay, good. And you can see just how many units we're cramming into one corner. This might make my computer lag. I hope not. Let's get these fell bats to fly on top. And is that everything? We have a couple units of Crypt Ghouls. Let's bring those at the back. We'll let something else take the charge, and then we can move them forwards. And Hamlin can stand back in the middle. Really tempted to try and go for a massive Wind of Death at some point, but that would require me to leave Hamlin on one side, and I'm not entirely sure if that's a great idea. I think in this case, maybe Invocations will be better. Like a Wind of Death. How much wind power reserve do we have? We have 70, but we get 1 power every 6 seconds. Maybe we could go for some Invocations and then go for a Wind of Death. We might be able to get away with that. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, we're just going to bring him back to the center for now. We'll keep him in the middle because he's got a magical animation. Magical animus. Sorry, and Staff of Damnation. I'm actually really excited for this battle because although I don't think we'll win, it's going to be a very fun one to play. And if we win, then that's great. But it's going to be so hard. I think my idea of this battle is just to do as much damage as possible, and then bring Oswald's army to finish them off. That's the only play that I can really do in this situation. It's going to be tragic if we lose Hamlin. He was the original necromancer that replaced his predecessor, which was the first necromancer in our campaign. But he is the second necromancer who replaced the first one who originally died, and now it looks like it's time for him to die. Although he's going to die in style, surrounded by 3,000 skeletons and zombies. So it's pretty badass. Hamlin here with his amazing army. It just looks so good. It's not actually too bad on the FPS currently. That's a lot of units getting into position. You would not want to walk into this forest. Very cool. But over the horizon, there is 2 armies of chaos coming to crush the very limited dreams of skeleton warriors and zombies. Just like wherever you look, skeletons. And then we have the elite sort of black knights in the back. Probably wondering why I'm not going for any sort of flank. Maybe I could have hidden some units in these forests and stuff and charged them in the back, but they just have so many like skirmishing forces that won't work. It just won't work. Like these Chaos Warhounds, for example, could just run down my Black Knights. Also could just kill off our own direwolves very quickly. They also have the Marauder Horsemen. You know, these things can do a lot of damage as well. Oh, they're already attacking us. Here we go. So as long as they're just attacking zombies, I don't mind too much. Maybe we could go for a Gaze of Nagash onto the Horsemen. We'd have to get Hamlin into a good position to do so, though. It takes him a while to walk through all of these zombies, that's for sure. How much does that cost? It does cost 9, though. It's a bit of a waste, honestly. What's a double Van Hel's Dance Macabre do? Oh, we can like boost the attack of all the units in the area. How much does that cost, though? 5. Well, how much does a double cost? 8. Well, maybe we could go for a Van Hel's Dance Macabre on top of the Staff of Damnation when they engage us in melee, that is. And then we would get like plus, what, 60 something attack? Sounds like quite a good idea. Then also an invocation on top of that to save the troops. Who knows? We are, of course, starting to take a lot of range damage. But mostly onto our zombies, which is fine. Even the Chaos Warhounds, they're digging into my zombies. What I'm waiting for, though, is these Chaos Marauders to engage me. Because that way the Marauder Horsemen won't be throwing as many missiles. Okay, we just got to stand our ground. We want them to sort of all get as close to us as possible. And then we can start using the invocations and so on. And then maybe I can sneak Hamlin out for a massive wind of death. Who knows what will happen in this battle. We kind of need to wait for the melee forces of the second army to arrive before we can think of doing any of that. The zombies are faltering on the right side. Okay. Look at these Chaos Marauders. Not entirely sure what they're planning on doing, but some of our skeleton warriors are being chipped away. So we have plenty of units left. We are doing some damage to their Chaos Warhounds and so on. They have their chariots in here as well now. Might get the spearmen to actually go towards those chariots and start attacking them. I really wish I could do like a wind of death through these Chaos Warhounds and stuff. Maybe we could. Maybe that's what we have to do. I just want to get the best wind of death as possible, and I think waiting for these melee forces to arrive is the way to do that. If they all start engaging in like here, for example, we can get a massive one. Either way, we are going to start to probably use an invocation, as I'm thinking of engaging. We'll get the Black Knights to help over on the left side at least. I don't know, a lot of our units are still healthy, but I think maybe a big invocation is worth doing. You start using some of this magic. By the time the reinforcements get here, we can think about getting in position for a massive wind of death. We're going to use these two on the left, just because they're on a timed cooldown of 90 seconds or 45 seconds. If I use them sooner than later, then hopefully we'll get to use them more than once in the battle. We don't want Hamlin to get involved in a melee fight, so we're going to bring him back. And I think that's honestly healed a lot of units. And our best bet, I believe, is to engage on the left side here. Give space for Hamlin to move forwards, and then we can do a wind of death across this line. Oh, it'll be so juicy. Unless I can get him to do it one down like this way. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do it. Probably be best to go downwards, maybe. Oh my, things getting pretty hectic. I kind of need to get up on this side, I think. So we're going to bring our direwolves to that side. We'll get our crypt ghouls to start pushing up on that side as well. And we'll bring also the fell bats over here. Then the rest of my forces need to get involved in this big old melee that's going on. It's pretty crazy right now. Oh my lord. Get the skeleton spearmen to push forwards into the Chaos Marauders. Okay, so Magical Animus nearly available to use. Come on, Hamlin, run over here, please. We have a massive wind of death to use. Like, even if I can get him up to like the position that I'm holding my cursor, I could do a massive one across this line. Oh, it'd be so juicy. Oh, he's going to get into position as well. Oh, here we go. Oh my god. Okay, how are we going to do this? Like that? Oh my. That killed so many men. Okay, good stuff. Right, Hamlin, you need to get back now. Save yourself with some zombies. Okay, we're gonna get units over to help our other flank. And we're gonna get Hamlin back. He needs to just run behind the wall of zombies again and get to the center. Okay, good stuff. We're gonna get Magical Animus going soon. Come on, get into your position. Want this to affect as many units as possible. Okay, that's good enough, I think. Yeah, good stuff. Alright, so we've done a massive amount of damage with that Winds of Death. So now it's just a matter of holding. We'll start to do a lot of damage with this bonus melee attack, that's for sure. And what I need to do is basically wait for enough Winds of Magic. We're currently recharging at 1 per 16 seconds to get a double invocation. We're losing the bats. That's not good. Like another Winds of Death would be perfect, but we're never going to get enough in this battle to make that happen. Okay, we still have 4 unit of cripples here. Let's get them into the fight. So that means that pretty much all of my units are engaged now. Although these skeleton spearmen, they're not. We want them to move forwards. They've engaged us with everything now. Literally everything. Go for Magical Animus again, just to stop any crumbling. Still waiting on the power reserve. We are losing ground, that's not good. Another Winds of Death would be so perfect right now. But we are going to have to rely on an invocation, I feel. Unless it's too late. Gonna get him involved in the melee now. There's just too many. It's just too many of them. But we've done so much damage. Ultimately, we're going to be the ones that lose 3,000 men, but I think in light of things, we've done very well. We're going to have Magical Animus again soon to stop any crumbling. But now, like, we're just getting charged over and over and over again by all of these Chaos Chariots and Marauded Horsemen. And this is going to be a very dead army. This is going to leave a massive raised dead pile. Trying to make them pay with blood for the destruction of Hamlin's army. And we may as well be raising more dead. Just going to do that in as many places as I can. As much as we can.
Only in unlight will they see.
4 seconds till Magical Animus again. Fight on. Fight on. Let's try and get out of whatever melee we're in over here because Hammer's taking a lot of damage. Ah, here we go. Disintegration and death for our lord. Such a shame. Goodbye, Hamlin. A lot of damage done to those armies, that's for sure. But their army was just too good for us. I don't think there was any way we really could have done any better. I would have liked to have think maybe that was winnable, but it's just so hard because, yeah, you can get like an amazing Wind of Death, but you'd need to... I mean, I think we did get an amazing Wind of Death. It probably killed like 200 guys. Does it tell us? 429 troops killed with just our Necromancer. That's how much damage like Hamlin did. If we actually hover over the other units, they didn't do half as much. It did add up, but 429 kills. That was a massive Wind of Death. Unfortunately, a valiant defeat though. And that has extended the episode quite a bit. So hopefully that was worth it. Hamlin fighting to the death at L'Anguille, and it was sacked. Okay, so we didn't even lose a settlement. We have migration, we're going to do nothing, we don't want to lose any more public order. And now we have raiding again. So it's probably time for Oswald to do the damage to these two armies and destroy them for good. But unfortunately not in this episode, because it has been my time. A crazy battle there that led to the death of Hamlin. Unfortunate, but necessary. In the meantime, that's all. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.